Hi, I'm Sara Levin, the Artful Inker, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be creating this napkin ring and pretty little favor for your holiday table. The favor will hold 2 Ferrero Rocher candies or something else of your choice. Let me set these aside and we'll start. We'll be using the Poinsettia Petals bundle. Now, the Poinsettia Petals stamp set and the Poinsettia Dies are from the August to December Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. However, they will carry over, but they will no longer be available with the 10% bundle pricing come January. So if you love this set as much as I do, you should pick it up now and get that 10% off. You can do that if you're in the US using the link in the description below to my store. So we're going to start with real red, and I've got Whisper white paper and just going to tap a little ink on. Normally with photopolymers I prefer to set them down on the ink. However, the large poinsettia is just a little bigger than the ink pad. So we want one large, and then let's add a couple of the medium flowers. And I'm lining these up so that I don't have to worry about the dies overlapping when it comes time to cut. Let's set this aside and grab another piece of Whisper white here. And now I've got the small poinsettia. And we're just going to do all of our stamping at one time here. Okay, and we're done with the red, so let me close that up. And then we need some of the holly leaves, and we're going to use shaded spruce for that. And I'm just going to add those in. Let's see, that didn't look like it got inked all the way across. There's plenty of room on our cardstock here for there's both a small and a large leaf in the holly, and we want both of those. And I'm just turning my stamp so that it fits in the spaces that I have available. I want one more large leaf, and I'm just placing my stamp in a couple of different places on my ink pad, as it is a little bit on the drier side. Okay, so I've got 3 larger and 3 smaller leaves. Let's put this shaded spruce away for just a moment and bring my real red back in. Now I'm going to squeeze this and transfer ink to the lid. And I've got the medium size of my water painter. The water painter is a 3-pack that you can find in the Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. And just adding a little ink here. And then we're just going to do a quick wash here, and by letting these dry a moment, stamping the red first and then the green, then my ink is not, that original ink is not bleeding. Now I did get my water painter a little too juicy, Now if you want to add shading to this, this is just a really quick technique. If you want to add shading to it, then do all of your first round of painting and let things dry a moment, and then you can come back and add more color. I'm not worrying about getting this all colored in. Leaving some white space is totally fine and adds to that hand-painted quality of these. Let me clean my brush and we'll do a quick shaded spruce, and then we'll move on to the die cutting. Okay, so just to clean, squeeze it a little bit, rub it on your scrap paper until it comes out clean. Needed a couple more brushes of that. There we go. And we'll move this red out of the way. And then let's do this leaf here before we move on. Let me give this another little squeeze. There we go. That's better. So squeeze a little bit of water over here. And then for the leaves, we're just going to do the same thing. Do this quick little brush and away we go. So let me finish the rest of these off camera and we'll come back and move on to the next bit. Okay, so everything has had a quick watercolor wash, and there's one last quick detail before moving on to die cutting. And I'm taking my dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends and just coming in on the, I don't know whether these are what the center of the poinsettia is. I think these are the actual flowers, this little yellow center part. And I'm coloring all of them so that regardless how I die cut them, I'll have something that has the yellow on it. Okay, so I've got my new mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You'll be able to purchase this come January. And let's take one of my pieces here, and I've got my dies over here, and I have the die cutting piece and the embossing piece in here, and I've used a piece of washi to hold them together. And let me just check and make sure. There we go. Out, and then I'm going to hold down with another piece of washi, and let's see, I think this is the smaller leaf here, and we're just going to die cut these both at the same time, just holding them in place around my stamping with some washi. Put the other cutting plate on top and roll this on through. Now this is a lighter weight machine, so you will need to hold it a little bit. Okay, and we'll just put these pieces aside, and I'll die cut the rest of these and be back. Okay, so all of our pieces are cut, including a couple of gold foil berry sprigs here. And I've got my glue gun heating on my silicone craft sheet. You can find this in the annual catalog. I've got a piece of real red cardstock that's cut 2 by 6.5 for my band for the napkin ring. And I just like to take my bone folder and soften the fibers just a little bit. Not so much that the cardstock splits, but then the tension isn't as much on it when you try to roll it into a circle, which we need for our napkin ring. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue just along either end and overlap. And let me hold this just a moment. Okay, and we'll set that aside. You all have used glue guns, I'm sure. So I need a large one, the 2 mediums, and 2 of the small flowers, and then I want 2 of the large leaves and 2 of the small leaves. So let's layer these up, and I just used multi-purpose glue between my layers of the same size. So let's do that here and here with the small ones. And I'm offsetting them so that you get the sense of even more petals. And then let's bring in some dimensionals, and just going to use those to separate our layered flowers. And again, offsetting them so that we get the most advantage out of those layered pieces. Again, we want lots and lots of petals. Okay. And now we're ready to adhere to, and I'm just going to make this a little bit of an oval so it's easier to play with. I'm going to add multi-purpose glue on the back of our flower and decide which way I want it on here. Okay. Hold that a second so that it stays put. And then let's put one of the sprigs in here. Oops. Okay, we like that popping out from the top. This wants to spin, so we're going to let it spin that way. And then let's put a little bit of adhesive on both of these leaves and tuck them in on the side here. Give them a push. And then we'll do the same thing with these 2 leaves. I'm going to add the adhesive top and bottom, and that way they will stick to something when I put them under here, whether it's the napkin ring or the poinsettia. It doesn't matter. Just give it a hold long enough so that they do adhere. And then we'll add this last sprig. A little bit of adhesive on the back. And again, got to give that a little bit of a press so that it touches the cardstock. And there's our napkin ring. Quick and easy. Let's set that aside and let me put my glue gun away, and we'll make our little box for our Ferrero Rocher favor. Okay, for the box, I've got a piece of the 'Tis the Season designer paper. That's a 6x6 paper stack that's in the August through December Stampin' Up catalog, and we're going to score that at 1.5 on all 4 sides. Super easy box to put together. Okay, let's put this out of the way, and then I need, let's slide this over, and we're going to go ahead and cut our tabs So I like to miter my tabs a bit on both sides. The box folds up more neatly, and then I'm going to notch it off at the end. The other thing I like to do when making a box is to cut so that I have a tab that folds in on all 4 sides rather than just 2 sides. I think the box holds together better that way, because then you've got equal tension from those tabs holding the box together on all 4 sides. And then let's cut this last one. I'm just cutting up the score lines. And as I said, notching out a miter on either side there. Let's sweep these out of the way and we'll put our lid together. Let's take our bone folder. Isn't that pretty? But then that's always the case, isn't it? On designer paper, you've got 2 pretty sides to choose from. Okay. Make sure I've got all these tabs folded. And again, burnishing the tabs makes them so that they're not pulling as hard. Okay, a little bit of multi-purpose glue, and then squaring your tab to the side piece so that the side piece comes right up to that score line. And I love how the pattern matches on the corner here. Okay. Whoops, I'm just a little come across just a little too far. Let me pull this up gently. There we go. Again, that's one of the beauties of the multi-purpose glue. You've got some of that wiggle room so that you can do that. Okay, and then give that a press and hold. Okay, so there's our top. Let's do our base here real quickly. Pull this back in. I've got a piece of shaded spruce, and it's 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I'm going to score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And I'm using the 1 inch mark to the right of the trimmer track to line up my cardstock. Now we'll just put that trimmer out of the way. You can find it in my Stampin' Up store if you need a paper trimmer. I've been very happy with mine and the length of time that the blades have lasted for me between needing to change them, because one always needs to change your blades from time to time. Okay, and final miter here on this corner. Let's sweep these out of the way and pull that last little bit. And now we'll take the bone folder and burnish all of our score lines. Okay. And using the multi-purpose glue again. You do have to give it a hold a moment to give the glue a chance to hold. let's turn around for this final tab. If you don't prefer the multi-purpose glue, you can use the Stampin' Seal Plus. It would be perfect for this. Okay, and we'll pop our 2 little Ferrero Rocher candies in here and put the lid on. Let me just slide that up in there. And then we need to put our pieces together to decorate it. So for this one, I'm going to use a mini Stampin' Dimensional between my layers of the poinsettia to give it a little more lift here, since we're not putting, oops, put it down too soon, since we're not putting as many layers on as we did for the, I'm being awfully fiddly with something that's not fiddly, but not as many layers as we did for the napkin ring. Put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of each of these. And we'll do a dry fit here to get our leaves down first, and then come back and add our flower. So a little bit of adhesive here. Oops. And now a little bit here. That way everybody is spaced to fit the top of the box. All right, so there's our Ferrero Rocher favor and our napkin ring, and we're all ready for our Christmas holiday table. Thanks for stopping by. This was Sara Levin, the Artful Inker of theartfulinker.com. Give this video a thumbs up, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell if you'd like to be notified the next time I upload a video. Have a great day. Bye.